What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, let's listen to the words of James Lights Out Tony, and then, of course, I'm going to add the finishing touches and close the video.
Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV, with the always charismatic James Lights Out Tony, Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. James, what's up, man? Being inducted, man. What's up? Tell us about it. How's it feel?
Hey, man, I'm having fun. I'm excited. I mean, ladies, I can't wait to get on. Get on. Get on. You know what I'm saying?
James, one of the most storied careers in boxing, one of the most pure boxers, one of the most pure counterpunchers, one of the most pure knockout artists, man. The best ever. James, let us know, man, what does it feel like for you to be with all your contemporaries, all your friends tonight, man? How's this feel to your heart, James?
I am so ecstatic about this. I'm here with my family, my beautiful wife, my kids, everybody around the world be able to see this, and to be with my peers and who I haven't seen, some who I haven't seen in about 20 years, I'm happy to see them. Congratulations to them. You know what I'm saying? And the fans are so great. I'm excited. From the depths of my heart, I'm very thankful for the career that I had that God gave me.
Definitely, James. Speaking of greatness, you haven't already achieved greatness. We've got two other young fighters in Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford who are looking to edge each other off for supremacy in the welterweight division. Tell me what your thoughts are about that bout if they were to get together, James.
As that fight happens, it's going to be a wonderful fight. But you know what? Earl Spence can't beat Terrence Crawford. It ain't happening. Terrence Crawford is the one I him out. Period. He's the best. Hey, Terrence Crawford right now, in my mind, and in a lot of people's minds, he is the best pound fighter in the world. Even last year, when your boy Canelo was supposed to be top fighter. But no, Terrence Crawford is the man.
What about Terrence Crawford? Legend after legend after legends sign off on Terrence Crawford. What is it about the eye test for Terrence Crawford, for you, James, as a legend, that makes you give him the nod?
I see everything. Hey, look, he see everything I see. Basically, as I say what I mean by that, he tries everything I did, and it worked for him. And you see your IQ, it brings you up. The way I fight, bring your IQ up automatically. You know what I'm saying? And he do that, no problem. Hey, I said, this is something different for for Earl Spence. You never seen nobody like this.
Definitely. And James, lastly, I'd like to ask you, a lot of talk lately in boxing about Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. What's your thoughts on them if they did get together?
Are you serious? Are you serious? Man, he is serious. Mismatch, murder. Ryan Garcia backside Tank Davis' way. Ryan Garcia can't spell fight. And that's him for the boxing match himself. I know who can fight, who can't. He can't fight.
There you have it. There you have it, the legendary James Lights Out Tony, the one and only. James, we'll let you get on moving, brother. Definitely, man.
All right, so James Tony gave his opinion on Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia. Now, everybody, of course, is entitled to their opinions. Now, as far as Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, we all know Terrence Crawford is the better technical architect in him. Errol Spence is more of a seek and destroy type guy, and he just keeps trying, and trying to chop you down. Now, we know against a guy like Terrence Crawford, if basically this is a fight where people don't see Errol Spence really outboxing him, it's how you put it together. I'm still on that particular fight. I mean, I know what I think, which really, I'm not getting into it again. We done talked about this a million times, but I don't know that's a fight. It's like when it happens, it happens. To me, we already know what Terrence Crawford is going to do. He's going to adjust and readjust. Spence, it really comes down to how much Spence can adjust and readjust as far as I'm concerned. Because we know what Spence does and we know what Crawford does. But Spence is relentless, and pretty much a lot of fights look one way when you just look at what these guys done with other opponents. But then when it comes to the two fighters, then the fight doesn't go the way you thought it was going to go. And that can happen with any two guys, or almost any two guys. But at the end of the day, I mean, not coming down to any injuries, somebody come in with a bad hand, bad back or something or whatever. Somebody's like, nothing that keeps them from performing to the best of their ability. I'm not. That's just a fight that is like, to me, is like, it could go either way as far as I'm concerned. That particular fight. So if it happens, and I'm not even gonna. I don't even want to get into talking about them two until something actually happens, because it's just a lot of talk and threats and insults and all that nonsense. Now, as far as Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia is more flash and flare than he is technical. Now, I'm not going to say he can't fight, but there are a lot of things that I see Ryan do that I just think, and I've said this and I'll say it again, I just think that Tank will eventually exploit these things and knock Ryan Garcia out. Like, first off, when you watch Ryan Garcia fight, he's very skinny, long, skinny, scrawny legs and everything. So when he throws punches, he throws from the hip, but he kind of stands straight up and he squares up. And when he throws his shots, even though his hands are fast, if you time a guy that throws combinations and you catch him in that, those positions that they're known for doing it. If you watch Ryan, he just kind of stands in, especially when he throws the left hook. That's how he got clipped by Luke Campbell. You understand? He timed him. And no matter how fast your hands are, when you're throwing punches and you're in a straight line, and he comes in a straight line, and he backs out in a straight line. And those are things that an elite fighter can exploit. Tank Davis is exciting all around. He can box and he can brawl if he has to, and he's willing to go in there and do it. And he's smart enough to know when to engage and when not to. Now, I believe Tank Davis takes a punch better than Ryan Garcia also. But at the same time, Ryan thinks that he'll win because he thinks because of his height and his punching power. He thinks that that's enough, and he thinks he's the fastest fighter in the world. So he thinks that, again, flash and flare. Okay? He's not a better athlete all around than Tank Davis, but flash and flare. He thinks that that's enough. In terms of his boxing IQ and his technical ability, that's not really what he does. Okay, people criticize Roy Jones, saying that Roy Jones didn't really have the boxing fundamentals down. He was basically all athleticism. Ryan Garcia is not better than what Roy Jones was. So if you really believe that, then that about Roy, how can you look at Ryan Garcia and think different? He's flash and flare. It looks good. The punches come fast. And you want to see him fight these guys. And I think the fight should happen. But that fight, I feel more confident that Tank will end up destroying him overall. And I think Ryan Garcia has too big of an ego to fight smart. When she gets cracked, he's going to want to try to mix it up. And, even if he's, because he's tall, he has a long reach. So even if he's given, if he's smart enough to keep his distance. But that's the thing. Ryan does not fight. He doesn't fight with the IQ of, the high boxing IQ. He fights off flash and flare, and pretty much his ego of thinking he can knock everybody out, So we'll see. But I feel more confident that Tank will beat Ryan Garcia than I do with picking any one particular winner between Spence and Crawford. But that's yet to be seen. But that's James Toney's opinion. So I'm just giving mine. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.